Hey there. It's 2:30 in the morning, and I don't feel like getting into why I'm sleeping in a parking lot. But I do know that you're usually allowed to sleep in a Walmart parking lot. So I came to this Walmart parking lot, and there is a hotel, and with empty parking spots. And that car, and that car, and that car, and every car that you can see, and one or two through there. Every single one of those cars has got somebody sleeping in it. Because a woman came over when I pulled up and asked me if I needed something because I had to do something to my truck. And she asked me if I needed anything, if I needed a flashlight, if she could help me in any way. Her name's Susie. She's super sweet. And I said, no, thanks. And I looked around and I asked, I said, can I sleep in this parking lot? And she's like, yeah. And that's when she told me. She said every single one of these cars has someone sleeping in it. That green truck right there, he's here every night. I'm here every night, she said. There's a blue truck here with a trailer on it. In the greatest nation on earth, there are people, and they're nice. Some of them are nice cars. My truck is a decent truck. Shiny, clean. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-ish cars. And there's like 3 dozen empty parking spots in the hotel next door. Yeah. But the economy's great. Fucking great.
It's bad out here in these streets. It's horrible. And a lot of people are really not really understanding how bad that it is because you may be in a space where, you're just surviving because the people that are just surviving, most of them are still living paycheck to paycheck. Most of them are still living paycheck to paycheck. And some of it is self inflicted wounds. A lot of it is self inflicted wounds. But the reality is that a lot of it is just the fact that even with those self inflicted wounds, it's much more difficult for you to recover from it because everything is exponentially more. Everything is exponentially more. And the greatest, and I don't even know what state that she in. And I always like to give credit to the content creator. So that link is going to be back down in the description. I don't know what state that she in, but what you're going to see happen, and even in her situation, is as more people become homeless, they always default back to sleeping in their cars, and then that's when you start to see people embracing van life. Van life has been popping for years now on YouTube because not because people are looking for some kind of financial independence in order for them to go and travel the country, and no, it's survival. It's straight up survival. And so now people are seeing a viable option in living in their cars because they don't have any other option. And that just becomes a way of life. And then that becomes your norm. Next thing you know, you're sleeping on the streets every day. And that's just what it is. That's what normalcy looks like in the United States of America. The dream is to be able to sleep in a bed for a lot of people. And what's normal is van life and sleeping in your car and then brushing your teeth in Walmart and taking a shower at the gym. That is the new norm. And so when y'all keep talking about, oh man, we thriving, and I see all of this legislation or these legislators and the president of the United States, nice speech. God bless America, Democratic National Convention. Lots of people doing speeches. But what I see on the street, because they saying, oh man, listen, we got the greatest economy. We added all of these jobs. What jobs? Minimum wage jobs? Because they don't break it out by the sector. They break it out based off a nonprofit, private sector, or whatever, but they don't break it down as far as the actual jobs themselves. They say that unemployment is low, but that doesn't account for the amount of people that stop looking or is already off of the benefits. They're not breaking those statistics. They know. Oh, they know. That's why they, in one breath, they'll say, well, you know what? We got the economy right. And then and in the very next breath say, but I'm going to fix the economy. That's what's happened. That's literally what happened. I just dropped the video of her speech on the Millionaire Morning Show channel. I clipped it up from the live that I did the other day. They'll say, oh man, no. Listen, within the last couple months, we closed off the border, but we gonna fix the border. So what y'all been doing the last 3.5 years? Because I've even seen videos where people say, well, that's not how government works. You can't do nothing. So, okay, well, if they can't do nothing, then why are they making promises? Because they can do something. Because first, they did control several legislative branches in order for them to do so. Because I know that there's layers of government that then you have to get approved, because that's the way that we prevent absolute power and we don't have kings and queens in this country. Cool, right. But you don't need, the same way that they didn't have to need executive action in order to be able to give taxpayer money out for these people that got these basket weaving degrees in order to, fulfill their obligations. You don't need a bipartisan deal to do what you are already empowered to do as far as protecting our borders. We got the infrastructure deal passed through with all that other BS that was inside of it that didn't help us. You got the CHIPS Act done. You got all of these laws passed, but inflation is out of control. The Fed is continuing to raise rates. The money is tight. Debt is out of control. Credit card debt is out of control. Foreclosures are up. Repossessions are up. People are getting evicted and foreclosures are exploding in Florida, Texas, Chicago, California, all across red, blue states. A lot of these red states also have very, very blue cities. So when you see Houston, which is blue, but Texas is red, and you see an explosion of foreclosures because everybody left California and they went over to Austin. Everybody left California and they went over to Florida. And now Florida's housing market is in turmoil. I am going to do a whole show tomorrow to break down exactly how there's a meltdown, and there are condos that are unfilled, and they just kept on building and kept on building, and it largely came from people that was migrating from California and New York and during the pandemic, and they said, we want to live here and we no longer want to live over there, and we're trying to escape the mansion tax and all of this stuff. And all they doing is continuing to manufacture another housing crisis that guess who's going to capitalize off of? Rich people. The rich is going to get richer. It's a class war. And so while y'all voting based off of identity politics, there's a class war, and there's going to be people that benefit as a result of it. 100%. And while y'all benefit, you're going to have women like this, more women than ever, the ones that are the most educated, the ones that are in school, all of this stuff, it's a boss chick. Yeah. It's going to be a reset. And the reset is that women going to start to lean back into their femininity because they're not going to be able to survive on their own. So all of this boss chick stuff, that's going out the window. We're going back to traditionalism because women like this is making videos every single day on TikTok telling you how bad it's out here in these streets. And it's going to get worse than it did before it get better. I'm telling you it's going to get worse before it gets better. It is rough. It is rough. Look, after you get done taking pictures with everybody else's car on Instagram, and after you get done finessing and finagling and trying to convince people that you ain't broke in order to impress people that don't care nothing about you, after you get done paying that 29% interest rate on that credit card and that car note that you can't hold on to because you ain't got no insurance, and every time you get into an accident, it's starting to look like that Altima that I was talking about on Monday night. When you get done with all of that, you still got to deal with the reality. When you wake up and you get done scrolling and you get done liking and you get done talking on Instagram and all of this stuff and TikTok, you're going to have to deal with the reality. And the reality is that every single month, that mortgage is going to be due for 360 months until you pull out a HELOC because somebody told you to take the equity out of your home, till you pull out a HELOC, and then you're going to be homeless at the end of the day because as soon as you get laid off, because layoffs is imminent, layoffs is popping amongst all of these companies when they keep telling you that the economy is thriving, when them layoffs hit, I'm starting to see a lot of videos that pop up on my algorithm talking about the foreclosures that's available for low. Get them for the low. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.